Hi there, my name is Michael Dosmann, and I'm the keeper of the Living Collections at the Arnold Arboretum of Harvard University. And we're back for another collections double take. Double takes between the collections of the Arnold Arboretum and those of Harvard art museums. Well, on display at the art museums is an Edvard Munch painting, Train Smoke. And it's incredible, these conifers, these evergreen trees in the landscape. And one in particular on the lower left side caught my eye because it has this noticeable orange-red bark. I knew instantly that that was Pinus sylvestris, commonly known as in English as Scots pine, but has a range that goes all the way from Ireland all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Well, I was able to identify it from the bark, but if I had gotten up close, I might also have noticed that it has an interesting diagnostic trait with the needles. There are needles of two that are twisted and blue, so it's a very easy pine to identify. An interesting thing about this tree that I'm standing next to is that it came to us. It was seed collected in 1983 from our colleagues at the University of Oslo, and they had collected it from Kalvuya Island on the western side of the Oslofjord, kind of the inner side. And what's interesting is that Munch, when he painted his painting in the early 1900s, he was on the northeastern side, Nordstrom, looking out over the fjord, and if you look in the distance, you can see some islands. I bet if you squint, you can see the island that yielded the seeds that became this tree. So that was a very special collections double take.
Hi, my name is Lynette Roth, and I'm the Daimler Curator of the Busch Reisinger Museum here at the Harvard Art Museums. And today we're taking a closer look at Edvard Munch's Train Smoke from 1910. And in fact, this is actually the second version that Edvard Munch made of this composition. He first painted it in the year 1900, and what we're looking at is a view from the hills, kind of top a hill near Oslo, which was then called Christiania. And Edvard Munch really liked to situate himself in very specific locations to paint his landscapes from. And we see here what gives the work its title, Train Smoke, these kind of billowing clouds of smoke as the train itself is kind of chugging along through the forest. And Edvard Munch is an incredibly experimental painter, which is part of his renown. He loves to thin the paint down, let it drip. He also loves to apply it very thickly in what we call impasto. We can see also all of the different motions he's making with the brush, these kind of zigzag motions for the sky. And here in our sort of favorite tree on the lower left-hand side, we can even see that he left some paint that kind of got maybe smushed up against this canvas from another, and really just let it become a part of the composition. And Edvard Munch really welcomed also those kind of moments of chance in both his painting and his printmaking process. Train Smoke was actually remade in this version in 1910 because the artist sold it and then just decided he would make another one. And that's actually something that happens a lot in Edvard Munch's work, that we can see him returning to certain motifs again and again, sometimes over the course of many decades.